Coming up on Morning Y'all, a deadly crash claims the life of a Houston police officer here in East Texas. We'll tell you what we've learned about the officer and the investigation.
And a 16-year-old is in custody after a Snapchat threat against an East Texas high school. The response from schools and families. Straight ahead.
Plus, a one-of-a-kind time capsule has been opened from the 80s. We'll show you what was inside, and we'll take a trip back to a legendary time in U.S. history.
You're definitely going to want to stay dry today because we do have scattered thunderstorms possible into this afternoon. We'll go over all the forecast details coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Our top story this morning, parents in White House are on high alert this week after a 16-year-old student was taken into custody for allegedly making a social media post suggesting she was thinking about shooting up White House High School. Authorities say the teen wasn't on campus at the time, but law enforcement acted fast to make an arrest at her home. We'll have more on this story in just a few minutes.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks so much for staying with us here on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And we're so glad you're with us this morning. I'm Dana Dixon. This morning, you're definitely going to want to take your umbrella as you get ready to head out to work or take those kiddos to school. Maybe give them a little raincoat. They might need it.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to need it for today. We are going to experience a lot of the same things from yesterday, just to a little bit more of a widespread extent for today, especially this afternoon as we start to get the heat going. A lot of afternoon bubblers, as what I like to call it, for this afternoon. 4 days until fall, and definitely not going to be feeling like it, at least in the meantime. We will have a chance to actually cool down by the time we get to our first day of fall. I'll show you what that looks like in your full forecast coming up. But we got Broadway overhead, or just under there, and clear skies overhead, I should say. We got nice traffic starting to pick up there. Upper 60s to low 70s across the area for this morning. We got upper 80s to low 90s for this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies with those scattered thunderstorms embedded within some of those partly cloudy skies, And our best chance of rain will be as we go into Friday. That's going to be ahead of a cold front. We do have a 60% chance of rain that could potentially linger into game time tomorrow night. And then things look to improve as we move into Saturday. But then rain chances just won't go away. They'll be returning as we head into next week. I'll show you what that looks like in your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, Joel, 7 to 3 now to White House, where a 16-year-old is facing serious charges this morning after threatening to shoot up the high school. Yeah, the threat made on Snapchat sparked a swift response from law enforcement. Parents are reacting now, and authorities are sharing an urgent message for families. Here's CBS 19's Will Riddell.
Kids should not be thinking about guns. Kids should be kids.
An East Texas teen arrested after posting an alarming Snapchat message saying she was, quote, thinking about shooting the school up, end quote. Chica Umezarique, a mother of 2 White House ISD students, says her heart sank when she learned about the threat. News she first heard from CBS 19.
To think of shooting somebody, what world are we living in?
Anytime that something like this comes across, they need to notify their parents or the authorities immediately.
Sergeant Larry Christian confirmed the teenager wasn't on campus at the time, but that law enforcement acted fast, arresting her at her home just hours later.
I believe that parents should have that conversation with their children, because they're constantly on social media being bombarded with things like this.
For parents like Emily Mianis, the threat hits close to home. With 2 kids in the district, she says online safety isn't just something they talk about, it's something they live every day.
We've had conversations about you don't forward on things that are threatening or pornographic in nature. If you see those, you tell an adult. You don't involve yourself in anything like that.
Mianis moved to East Texas from Arizona, where school shooting threats were unfortunately all too common. She and other parents alike are impressed with the quick response.
So anytime that there's a threat like that, I think it's very serious, and I'm glad that they took it seriously and that they removed the child.
Kids should be out playing, having friends, going to movies, doing their homework, talking about boys and girls, not killing people.
Ultimately, the sheriff's office warns anyone who thinks threats like this are jokes need to think twice because such words carry serious consequences and put lives at risk.
Anybody who's thinking about, even in a joking manner, putting something like this out on social media or wherever, they need to have second thoughts about that.
In White House, Will Riddell, CBS 19.
All right, Will, thanks so much. We're also working this morning to learn more about a fatal crash involving a Houston police officer that happened here in East Texas. Right now, we know the Anderson County Sheriff's Office is investigating. It happened last night on Highway 287. Senior police officer Alex Roberts was in a motorcycle escort when he was hit head-on by another vehicle. Houston's police chief praised Robert, saying he served with honor and dedication and that his loss will be deeply felt. According to our sister station in Houston, Robert spent 15 years with the department. Texas DPS is also helping with the investigation. Rose County deputies arrested a woman on drug charges after a suspicious vehicle was reported outside a closed dental office Saturday morning. And when deputies got there, the truck had already left, but the woman, Suzanne Bozart, was later found in a nearby gas station. Deputies noticed knives and drugs inside the truck, and after a search, they also found meth that weighed about 20 grams. Bozart was taken into custody and charged with possession. The investigation is ongoing. And a Canadian woman is headed to federal prison after a traffic stop in East Texas exposed a major gun trafficking operation. 24-year-old Jatea Odeja Hamilton is sentenced to 5 years behind bars. Federal prosecutors say she traveled from Canada to Houston last fall, picked up 22 stolen firearms, and then hired a rideshare driver to take her to Arkansas. But that trip ended early in Angelina County, where deputies pulled her over. Hamilton pleaded guilty to federal gun charges and will now serve her time in U.S. custody.
An East Texas teacher is out of a job after making controversial comments about the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Brianna Parrish, a high school teacher, was first placed on administrative leave but has since submitted her resignation. Superintendent Dr. Carolyn Fiaschetti confirmed the decision. At this time, the district has not shared further details about the investigation or any potential policy changes. And this incident adds to a growing list of Texas educators facing disciplinary action over social media conduct.
Now, the Texas Education Agency Commissioner says teachers could have their certification suspended for making social media posts that incite violence. The TEA has received 281 complaints, and on Monday that number was only around 180. The state agency is working on the complaint review process, and right now they have not applied any sanctions. The TEA hasn't released specifics about the content of those complaints or details about whether any of them are duplicates, but we have heard about teachers losing their jobs for inappropriate social media posts in Texas. However, the TEA tells us those decisions were made by local school districts, not the state agency. We're also learning more about how a 33-hour manhunt for Charlie Kirk's suspected killer came to an end. Officials say Tyler Robinson's family helped arrange a peaceful surrender. Meanwhile, Utah Valley University reopened for the first time yesterday since that tragedy. In the courtyard where Charlie Kirk was killed, students paused to reflect, including a freshman who caught a hat Charlie tossed out moments before that shot rang out.
Charlie was a father, and I'm about to be one. I can't imagine the two kids there not being able to have a father. I was shaking in the car on the way here, not fear of going to school, but fear of reliving the memory that will forever be ingrained into my brain.
Robinson remains in jail without bail. His next court appearance is set for September 29th.
ABC says it's pulling Jimmy Kimmel's late night show off the air indefinitely. The move comes after comments Kimmel made during his monologue on Monday in response to the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. President Trump praised ABC's move in social media, the social media post that is, calling it, quote, great news for America. Well, right now in Arizona, final arrangements are underway for this weekend's funeral service for conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And Kirk's organization, Turning Point USA, is gathering law enforcement to work that event, which is expected to bring in thousands to State Farm Stadium in Glendale. President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance are each expected to speak. The Sunday Watch live streaming coverage of the Charlie Kirk Memorial Service on CBS19 Plus will have context and perspective from our local journalists and community voices on the ground there in Phoenix. And you can watch streaming coverage from the memorial starting at noon on CBS19 Plus.
All right, back here in Texas, State Representative James Tallarico is just 1 week into his U.S. Senate campaign, but he's already hitting the ground hard.
And his latest stop brought him to Longview, where he spoke to a packed community center, sharing his vision for the state and making his pitch directly to East Texas voters. Just 1 week into his campaign, Tallarico has already visited 6 cities, including a packed Longview community center, and he's positioning himself as an underdog, hoping to win the Democratic primary against Colin Allred and retired astronaut Terry Virts, with plans to face either incumbent Republican Senator John Cornyn or GOP challenger Ken Paxton in the general election.
People across the political spectrum are ready for new blood in our politics. They want new leadership in our government, and I hope to provide that fresh perspective.
Tallarico's campaign focuses less on left versus right and more on fighting for working Americans against the wealthy elite. He says, quote, "The only minority that is destroying this country is the billionaires." A former English teacher and the youngest member of the Texas legislature when elected back in 2018, he aims to be the first Democrat elected to the U.S. Senate from Texas since the 1980s. Meanwhile, Colin Allred was campaigning in Waco. For weeks, he and other Senate candidates like Tallarico have been on the road making their case to voters, and they are trying to unseat Senator John Cornyn in next year's election. For Allred, he says that the focus will be, quote, "rooting out corruption and unrigging the economy so that it favors hardworking Texans and not just the rich and powerful."
Working folks are working harder for less. They're not seeing their children. They're seeing their public schools with these voucher programs taking money out of it. And they're wondering, who's going to stand up for me? They're wondering, do you see me? Do you know what we're going through?
Allred and Tallarico are just 2 of the 5 candidates running for U.S. Senate. The incumbent Republican, Senator John Cornyn, is facing his own challenge from within his party, as current Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton gears up to face him in the March primary.
All right, 7:12, time now for your morning headlines, starting in Pennsylvania, where 3 police officers are dead and 2 others seriously hurt after a shooting yesterday. The officers were responding to a domestic dispute when a gunman opened fire. That suspect later killed by police. Now, authorities have not said exactly what led up to this shooting. And today, President Trump is headed to the country home of UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. They're sitting down for a high-stakes meeting, and trade is likely to be on the top of their agenda. And just last night, Trump and First Lady Melania Trump were guests of honors at Great Britain's Windsor Castle. The first couple dined alongside King Charles, Queen Camilla, and the Prince and Princess of Wales. And during a dinnertime speech, King Charles asked President Trump's support for Ukraine against tyranny. The Federal Reserve lowered its interest rates, the cut of a quarter point. This is the first since December of last year. This comes as the U.S. is dealing with a stalling labor market and slower economic growth. Officials say there could be 2 more cuts this year, but only 1 in 2026, according to economic projections. And check this out, Meta is showing off its new AI-powered smart glasses. They feature a double battery life and sharper display and camera compared to its previous models, and speakers that amplify sound. The glasses also include a very tiny display that can be controlled through your wristband. And they also have live captioning and translation for better communication. And the new Ray-Ban Meta display glasses will go on sale later this month, starting at a very affordable, if you want to call it that, price of $799.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Seems a little pricey to me. All right, we're going to take a break from news and weather for just a moment to do our question of the day, which is, which song immediately takes you back to high school? I actually had to Google this because I love so many songs that there's not just one.
I'm looking at the CO because
I was in the 90s. Okay,
yeah, okay.
So this is not going to work out for you, Damien. So what is your song that brings you back to high school?
Oh goodness. Okay, so in high school, 2012 was my freshman year.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know who Chief Keef is. He's a rapper. That's when he first ever started being popular. And that whole Finally Rich album just takes me back to high school. That or Taylor Alderdice by Wiz Khalifa, that whole mixtape are the 2. I know we said song, but all of those songs just take me back to
the entire album.
The good times of not having to worry about a job and bills and life.
Right.
You
Just
know
worry
what I
about
mean?
getting an A.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Or a C. A C was good enough for me. You know what I mean?
Hey, that rhymes.
What about you, Joel?
Well, I was a band kid. I played trumpet. We played a lot of like pop culture songs, and one of them that I really liked playing was "Land of a Thousand Dances."
Oh.
That was good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that
And
was
the
a fun
rest,
one.
Yeah.
You're Googling too, because you
I'm
couldn't remember
Googling.
either.
I'm trying to think what songs came back in 2019 when I graduated high school. Old Town Road came out. Everyone was singing that to the point where it got
yeah.
annoying.
I
Especially
liked
the
that song.
freshmen when
But
I was a
you know who was
senior.
in it with
Who?
what was it? Little Nas X? Is that the guy who
Oh,
sang
Billy Ray Cyrus. Yes.
A song from the 90s that remind, because that's when I graduated, is "Achy Breaky Heart." That
one's
reminds
good.
me of high school.
So there's
for sure.
a dance in the Hispanic culture that goes through that. It's a line dance, but it goes like super, super quick. It's called El Caballo Dorado.
Oh.
Same.
You want to show it to us?
Oh, I can't do it right now. But it goes super, super fast, and it's super fun. You will trip if you don't know how to dance it.
I was like looking at, like pop songs from my time in the 90s, and then also country, which "Achy Breaky Heart" was one of the ones that I was thinking of. But any like Mariah Carey song, "Vision of Love," or any Whitney Houston song, that sort of reminds me of the 90s as well.
All
Like,
those.
Yeah, I have another one, "Radioactive" by Imagine Dragons.
yes, that was a good
that
song.
one
I
was-
love that one.
You graduated a year after me, right?
Yeah, I graduated in 2020, yeah.
We were around the same time.
Yeah, one of
Oh, you're
these
a
things
2020
is not like
graduate.
the other. It's me right
Yeah.
now.
Or me either. It said 2019. I
When did
was
you
in
graduate?
college. 2016.
High school?
Yeah.
So you were a senior
Nice.
when I was a freshman.
Yeah, I graduated 2016. Man, I'm getting old.
Crazy.
I'm getting up there.
I can't do this anymore. We are going to go. I can't feel old anymore. We are going to go to traffic.
Yes, let's get on over to our
Turn those
CBS.
tunes on.
Yeah, no, exactly. Our CBS19 on-scene unit. We are beautiful out there. Wow, it's just gorgeous. We got clear skies. The sun has officially risen, and traffic isn't too bad. We got nice dry roadways. I believe that is Broadway. That is going north on Broadway there. It's a lovely morning to get outside. Let's take you on over to your I-20 report if you're heading in that direction. So far, so good. We got 2 hours to get to Dallas still as we speak in this time of morning. We got an hour and 30 minutes to get over to Shreveport as well. So again, no major slowdowns on I-20 this morning. Same goes for US 69. 2.5 hours up to Denison and an hour and 30 minutes to get to Lufkin. As we just saw, clear skies all across the area. We can see that with our CBS19 on, or CBS19 live radar, that is. We will have a chance for some showers and thunderstorms to develop into the heat of the afternoon across East Texas. There will be some heavy downpours with some of these, and of course we'll have some lightning as well. So Thursday night football, heads up, there could be a couple of lightning strikes there. So again, make sure to keep that in mind. Most everybody will stay dry. It'll be a little bit more widespread than yesterday, but there will be a chance for everybody to see rain this afternoon. That's why I'm giving you green lights for this morning, and then I have us at a yellow light all the way through this afternoon and evening. We'll see highs near 93 degrees. And that's definitely enough to get some thunderstorms going, and on top of the humidity. And so just be careful out there if you have yourself, or if you find yourself under a heavy downpour, definitely be careful out there.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. 7:18 this morning, still ahead. A major new study reveals the toll COVID takes on our bodies even years after, while experts say vaccination is still the best defense.
And 3 games in, and Tyler High has shown flashes of greatness and moments of struggle. Can the Lions find consistency before a tough test against Lufkin? That is all coming up in sports.
It's time for CBS 19 Sports.
Welcome back, East Texas. I'm Damian Bartonic, and you know what time it is. Time to talk all things sports. We are 4 weeks into the high school football season, and it's kind of crazy once you think about it. Just time is flying, but at the same time, I think it's a good time to live in the moment. There are plenty of big-time matchups going on this week, and none are bigger than our game of the week between Chapel Hill and Carthage. Let's go ahead and get a quick tale of the tape now. We know these guys very well. Chapel Hill and Carthage, two C-named teams, two Bulldog teams, and guess what? Two really good teams. In different ways, though. Chapel Hill, they've been a little bit slow to start up, open up first halves. They were slow against Gilmer. They were slow against White House, but they finished strong and end up adjusting and just piling on the points. For Carthage, though, they're just going to punch you in the mouth and keep on hitting you and hitting you and hitting you over and over again, all right? Chapel Hill is riding a 3-game hot streak. Carthage will be stretching their legs after an early bye week. And honestly, if there's any time to get Carthage, it probably is right now when they maybe got a little bit of rust on them. So thankfully, I'm going to be the one out there to find out not only who wins and who impresses, but of course, who shines brightest under the lights. And this next team, though, that we're talking about, we're still getting to know them a little bit. Head coach of the Tyler High Lions told my boy Jimmy Searfoss that this year he will be restoring the roar. I'm not going to roar right now for you on air, but hey, honestly, they're coming off a great win last week, 63-0, and they had a good week 1 performance, so they've shown flashes of being a very tough team. But they've also done the opposite at times, like losing in a blowout to their rivals, those Tyler Legacy Red Raiders. So that just begs the question, just how good are these Lions? Well, Jimmy Searfoss breaks it down for us.
They went toe-to-toe against the top 10 team in East Texas, then struggled against those Rose City rivals, only to bounce back and hang 63 on Seagaville. Now they're only 1 game out of district play, and it ain't an easy one.
And I want that number 17 on his spot! 3 of the teams that we're going to play are in the top 25 in our district alone. We have to make sure that we're ready to go, and a battle-tested Lufkin team is a great way to see exactly where we are.
So 3 games in, just how good is Tyler High?
We have the potential. We have the potential to be the team that's very competitive.
And they have been, sometimes. The Lions offense that scored 42 against a Marshall team that held down Longview put up just 21 against their Red Raider rivals. And the defense that allowed over 60 points in the first 2 games didn't allow anyone in the end zone in week 3. So Coach Woods would love to see his team come out and beat Lufkin for the first time in 2 years. But even more, he'd love to see some
sure that we establish some type of consistency there, consistently on. We need that consistently across the board.
And as great as their D1 athletes, experienced quarterback, and beefed up offensive line can be, Coach knows the one group that's got to work just as hard as them to make sure they're at their best.
And as a coaching staff, we're doing everything we can to unlock that consistently so that we can, make a run when we have the opportunity.
Which is approaching closer and closer with the day. Consistently.
And around this time, I consistently need some breakfast, so that's where I stand on this one. But the 1 and 2 Tyler Lions will have a tough task this week. As you know, they're traveling to Lufkin in what will be a physical, high-scoring game, so it's going to definitely be one I'm going to have my eyes on. Remember, folks, tomorrow night, 6:30, 10, 10:35, tune into CBS 19 and streaming on CBS 19 Plus for all of our Under the Lights high school football coverage. It doesn't get any better than what we do on Friday nights. And with that said, that's all the time I have for you in sports this morning. Morning, y'all.
You know what would be better, Damian? If we heard you roar.
We're not getting that today.
Good. All right, we're about to step away and do a quick over-the-air broadcast for our news update.
We'll be right back with more here on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Jesus Martinez.
And I'm Dana Dixon. Thank you for joining us for this news update. Well, we are working to learn more about a fatal crash involving a Houston police officer in East Texas. Right now, we know the Anderson County Sheriff's Office is investigating. It happened last night on Highway 287. Senior police officer Alex Roberts was on a motorcycle escort when he was hit head-on by another vehicle. Houston's police chief praised Roberts, saying he served with honor and dedication and that his loss is deeply felt.
Rose County deputies arrested a woman on drug charges after a suspicious vehicle was reported outside a closed dental office Saturday morning. But when deputies got there, the truck had already left. The woman, Susan Bozarth, was later found at a nearby gas station. Deputies noticed knives and guns inside the truck, and after more search, they found meth weighing about 20 grams. Bozarth was taken into custody and is charged with possession, and this investigation is still ongoing. And a Canadian woman is headed to federal prison after a traffic stop here in East Texas exposed a major gun trafficking operation. 24-year-old Jatea O'Day Hamilton is sentenced to 5 years behind bars. Federal prosecutors say she traveled from Canada to Houston last fall, picked up 22 stolen firearms, and then hired a rideshare driver to take her to Arkansas. But that trip ended up early in Angelina County, where deputies pulled her over. Hamilton pled guilty to federal gun charges and will now serve her time in U.S. custody.
An East Texas teacher is now out of a job after making controversial comments about the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Brianna Parrish, a high school teacher, was first placed on administrative leave but has since submitted her resignation. Superintendent Dr. Carolyn Fiaschetti confirmed the decision. At this time, the district has not shared further details about the investigation or any potential policy changes. Well, Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshone is making a big impact off the field, helping flood victims in Central Texas. The ARP native packed 2,500 care kits and 500 totes of dry goods, and he says the cause is close to his heart. Overshone has also shared an update on his knee injury, hoping to return before Thanksgiving. We've got our fingers crossed on that one.
Hopefully this weather will cooperate this afternoon too, Joel.
Yeah, we could definitely hope so. I know for this morning it's going to be a pretty dry forecast, but for this afternoon we are going to be watching for scattered thunderstorms all across East Texas. We'll see highs near 93 degrees and a light south wind at 4 miles per hour. Here's what we're looking at on Future Skycast. So starting you off at 1 o'clock this afternoon, basically just heat of the day, pop-up showers and thunderstorms all across the area. A lot of us will have that chance to see some rain this afternoon. That could potentially linger into game time, so I would not be too surprised to see a lightning delay or two. So definitely keep that in mind as you prepare for the games tonight. Definitely make sure to have an umbrella for today and for tomorrow. We're watching a cold front to move in. We'll have more additional showers and thunderstorms all across the area. Again, that may linger into Friday night football as well. So again, keep that in mind. Saturday looks to be a lot better. Our 7-day forecast, as we take a look here, we have the chance for some more showers and thunderstorms next week.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all here on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. The countdown is on. The East Texas State Fair kicks off tomorrow with rides, food, live music for everyone, and also a special rodeo. First time ever. We'll have a preview of that coming up.
Plus, could the dodo bird be coming back from extinction? A Texas company is making a huge stride in genetic engineering, aiming to bring the dodo bird back to life. We'll explain all that coming up.
And we got a pretty hot and humid afternoon with some scattered thunderstorms that could linger into game time tonight. Our better chance of rain will come into the picture for tomorrow. I'll show you all the details in your full forecast. That's all ahead on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good morning, y'all. Thanks for staying with us on CBS 19 Plus. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. We're glad you're with us this morning. Well, an update now to a story we first told you about earlier this week. Longview police say a woman has been charged with murder after a weekend shooting. 21-year-old Jeria Wilson is in the Gray County Jail on a $50,000 bond. She was arrested yesterday afternoon. Now, you may remember officers responded to an apartment complex on Bostic Drive around 10:30 Friday night. That's where they found two men shot. One of the victims, Jonathan Lee, died at the scene. The other was taken to a hospital.
More help is headed to the Hill Country as they continue to recover from the devastating July 4th floods. At least 135 people died and hundreds more lost their homes and livelihoods. Governor Greg Abbott personally handed out checks yesterday to families impacted in Central Texas. The funds came from the benefit concert country singer George Strait hosted in July, which raised more than $7 million. Governor Abbott told flood victims the state's goal is to help them rebuild their homes and lives as soon as possible.
We know you've been challenged in extraordinary ways. We want to be able to be a part of the process, not just now, but in an ongoing way to help you respond to those challenges.
Some residents were emotional after getting their checks from the governor, and some say it will go a long way to help them through the rebuilding process. East Texas native and Cowboys linebacker DeMarvion Overshone doing some great work, helping provide relief supplies for those who are in Central Texas and devastated by the floods. The ARP native packed 2,500 care kits and 500 dry good totes. He says the effort is close to his heart. He is also sharing some good news after that devastating knee injury last season. Overshone says that he wants to be back playing football before Thanksgiving, and I know for fans that can't come soon enough.
All right, check this out. A Texas company says it is a step closer to bringing back the dodo bird from extinction, which has been extinct for about 400 years now. Colossal Biosciences said that it is using genetic engineering to try and recreate a living, breathing version of a copy of this bird. The company says it has the technology to successfully culture specialized cells from a Nicobar pigeon, which is the dodo's closest living relative. They say it'll take at least 5 to 7 years for this project to actually play out. Colossal is also working on bringing back other extinct animals, including the woolly mammoths and Tasmanian tigers. Crazy. All right, check this out. Closer to home now, a third grade student from Hallsville ISD has been chosen for the National Math Stars program. Amazing, right? Daniel Romanuk is one of 57 students selected across the state of Texas, and the program has a total of 102 students spanning from here, Texas, to Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Daniel was chosen from a pool of thousands of nominations based on academic excellence, passion for math, and school leader recommendations. According to Hallsville ISD, as a National Math Star, he will receive a long-term package of support value at $100,000.
Maybe you can come help me with my math.
Right? He does math problems. We have problems with math.
Well, Tyler Junior College is celebrating a big milestone. Founded in 1926, TJC marked its 99th Founders Day yesterday, honoring nearly a century of service to students and our community. From just 93 students in its first year to now serving more than 19,000 annually. TJC has over 120 programs doing great work in our community. Countdown is on for the East Texas State Fair, from rides to lots of food. And don't forget, live music. And Jesus, how about the addition of the rodeo this year for the first time?
Should have brought my cowboy hat today.
Where is it?
It's at home. I got both of them at home, stored away, but I'll dust them off because it all kicks off tomorrow at the fairgrounds located in Tyler. Crews are getting everything ready with the carnival rides, of course, the midway, the food booths. How can you forget that? And the live music venues. But this year, this new rodeo attraction is making buzz all over.
We're having the first ever pro rodeo of the East Texas State Fair.
That's right, crews are still working to put the finishing touches on the Herd Arena that can seat more than 2,000 people for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association Rodeo, and the professional cowboys and cowgirls will be competing tomorrow and throughout the weekend. And these top-rated rodeo athletes will be competing for points to qualify for the National Finals Rodeo all the way in Vegas.
This is a full PRCA rodeo. It's going to have all 9 regular rodeo events, including breakaway roping, barrel racing, bull riding, bronc riding, all of the typical rodeo events. There's a great lineup of rodeo athletes coming out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Sounds like a good time this weekend. Tickets for the rodeo are going fast, though, and those tickets can be bought online. And there are general admission tickets, but there's also VIP tickets, which include food and beverage, an open bar, and premium seating. So you might want to round up your tickets up here pretty soon. All right, 7:37. Let's get to some trending stories this morning. A health company in Nebraska stepped back in time, literally, to see what was inside a time capsule nearly 4 decades old. And this week, the company Bryan Health in Lincoln opened their time capsule that was stored away since 1987 as they roll it out. Inside, photos and clothing items. The capsule also had a brick from the 1920s energy plant that restrained straps from a psychiatric unit. This is all part of the company's 100th anniversary, and some of the people who actually helped seal the capsule 38 years ago were also there for this historic moment.
Okay, they're not that old, by the way.
No, they look great. Bryan Health says they plan to do another time capsule next May to mark the end of the 100th year celebration.
Jesus over here acting like the 80s was forever ago.
It was 40 years ago.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm staying out of that one. I'm gonna tell you like this though. That shirt, the peach shirt.
The little.
I think that's something that'd be still worn today.
Oh, yeah, come back again.
You know, easily. I've never seen like one of these before. And so I've always like seen like in the movies, like like stuff like this.
Like time capsules.
Yeah.
They're kind of cool.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. I mean, this shows that I'm a novice. I didn't know that this was really a thing.
There should be cassette tapes in there that were very popular in the 80s. Some artists on there like Elton John cassette tapes. You're like you love 80s like I do, Joel. What else would you think would be in there?
I put some 80s video games in there, like the Nintendo Entertainment System, maybe some Atari games.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Old school.
what we
for
need?
the fashion, I'd put some parachute pants, some jellies.
A Walkman.
Really, Walkman, yes. A boombox.
Up and about, go on boombox. You know what we need though is a CBS19 time capsule.
Okay. What are you gonna
Starting
put in it?
now, we're gonna put this little. We call it a wrap. We're gonna put
That
this.
costs too much money to put
That
in
does.
there.
It's like $1,500.
We'd go dig it right back up.
Right. We'll put different stuff in there. We'll make a virtual time capsule, and people can open it up later.
Yeah. Well, the countdown to Christmas Day has officially begun. We are less than 100 days away now, and the U.S. Postal Service is spreading some holiday cheer with Operation Santa. Kids across the country writing letters to Santa, and volunteers, we call those elves, right, can answer and even help fulfill wishes. This year, families can adopt letters for entire households. An expanded online gift catalog makes sending presents easier, and it helps Santa out just a little bit. He's got a lot to do.
There's the address, 123
Elf Road,
North Pole, zip code 88888.
Man, I'm so again. We talked about Christmas the other day. I'm just so excited for it.
I know. I loved sending my letter to Santa every year.
We talked about the Christmas top wish lists. I think yesterday, or the day before. But as a kid, what would you put in your Christmas list? Like top of the list.
Okay, so I'll never forget this. I think personally, I got the best dad in the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something. The Xbox 360 came out, and I was like, I could even get emotional talking about this. And I remember. My dad was like, I was like, man, it's $360. Like, how can he buy this? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, my dad made it happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's so sweet.
I love that.
Yeah, it was always stuff like that I was just like, that made me realize, like, bro, ain't nothing like my dad. You know what I'm saying?
You're making us too.
Yeah, bro.
That's
But
sweet.
that would be on the top of my list always. Was always the video game stuff.
That's so sweet.
Oh,
What would be
yeah.
yours?
I always wanted to bike when I was little.
Do you still want a bike?
I have a bike now. I should ride it more.
We've got some good trails out here.
Now I just want to give gifts.
Right. My top list would always be, every single year without fail, a Thomas the Train Engine set every single year.
I love that. My top two things when I was really little was Monster Jam and Hot Wheels.
Oh, fun.
Loved my Hot Wheels set. I loved my monster trucks.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
liked a Barbie too. Give me a Barbie and I'm good to go.
I think I collected like 4 or 5 different sets of different little train engines from all over. So I think I still have them, or I gave them to someone. I don't remember. They're somewhere
What
out in
could
the
you
world.
sell those for today, Jesus?
I could go get some more right now.
All those years ago.
All those
like
years
the
ago.
80s when it was like almost ancient.
Well, hey, 2 years ago, not too long ago, Tom Hanks visited a small typewriter shop in Portland and promised to send the owner a signed typewriter from his personal collection. And now that promise has arrived. A 1955 Remington signed by Hank himself. The shop owner says it will sit in front and center so everyone to use a perfect blend of Hollywood memorabilia and an old school analog charm. I love the sound of typewriters.
Have you ever actually typed on one?
I have not. Well, I've touched typewriters that work, but I've never physically
typed
on it. Like there's some at thrift shops that are there and like you can still type, but it won't work.
I used to have to write my papers on a typewriter.
There you go.
True story.
Wow.
Crazy.
I've never used a typewriter ever. I know doesn't Jude have one?
Jude has a typewriter keyboard.
Oh.
And I love the sound of it. It is loud and obnoxious, but that's what I love about it.
And it lights
all you
up
hear
a little
is
bit too.
That's all you hear.
Yeah.
My grandmother had like an old school one where you'd have to like hit the little thing.
Yeah.
Ding.
Mine wasn't like that. It was a little bit more high tech, but I loved playing with it. I'd be like, I just like. I wasn't doing
Felt
anything.
fancy.
I love it.
It was almost like a dance.
Yeah, when I was in band, I used to we played this song called Typewriter, and part of it was like the percussion section was like.
Oh, that's cool.
With what instrument?
Ding, with the typewriter.
Oh,
literally with
the typewriter.
exact. Like,
No,
a
percussion.
little-
He said percussion.
Well, yes. Well, they played a typewriter.
But they
they
actually
played a
played
typewriter.
a typewriter.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yep. That was a fun one.
Crazy.
I love
I need to go listen to that song.
It's a good one. I'll show you later. Yeah.
All right, let's get over to weather now, see how things are looking here in East Texas as you get ready to head out the door.
All righty. Yeah, you'll definitely need an umbrella for today. But before we get into anything about East Texas, let's take you over to our tropics so far. We have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. This tied a record for no-name storms between the time frame of August 29th all the way through September 16th. That last was set in 1950. We actually tied that record. We now have Tropical Storm Gabrielle spinning in our central Atlantic. It is expected to still remain a tropical storm, at least through a majority of the weekend. But it's entering this area of wind shear. It's that change of wind with height, and the more there is, the more difference there is with the height, the higher the wind shear, and that's not good for tropical storms. So it is expected to kind of stay at bay at a tropical storm level all the way through at least a good chunk of the weekend. But once it makes its way further to the north into some more favorable conditions, it will have that chance to be a Category 1. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. But right now, 50 miles per hour, that's our sustained wind right now. And again, most of the data is actually pointing it away from the United States, so that is some good news there. All nice and quiet here in East Texas. We do have some showers and thunderstorms off to the northwest ahead of a cold front that will be pushing its way further to the southeast as we work our way into Friday. For the beginning half of the day, no rain. We'll be building up those temperatures into the low to mid 90s. And then for the afternoon, we'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Ahead of that cold front, we have our best chance of rain for Friday afternoon. And we have a 60% chance of rain down to a 20% for Saturday. Rain chances pick back up for Sunday and into next week. I'll show you what that looks like in your full forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Joel. Well, still ahead, getting older is inevitable, right? But how you age, that is in your control. We will share some simple daily habits doctors say can add healthy years to your life, and it all starts long before your senior years. A health alert for you now. A major new report highlights the health toll that COVID takes on the body. European study looking at long COVID patients finds even if COVID isn't fatal, it can damage the lungs, heart, and blood vessels. Researchers say that's why vaccinations are still so important, as vaccinated people are far less likely to develop long COVID. Researchers estimate 100 million people worldwide are living with long COVID, and 5 million have heart problems as a result. September is Healthy Aging Month at a time to bring awareness to the process of staying physically, mentally, and socially healthy as we grow older. And experts say it all starts in our younger years. Mandy Gaither has 7 keys to unlock the door to healthy aging.
If we're blessed with life, aging is something all of us will face. But staying healthy as the years pass starts when we're young.
Choices that we should be making in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, for example, help us age really well when we're 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Dr. Chirag Panchal with Orlando Health says the first key to health as we age is nutrition, maintaining a healthy, balanced diet. Next, keep your body active. The CDC says average adults need at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening exercises a week. Third, Panchal says to keep your brain active and stimulated, and that means getting adequate sleep between 7 to 9 hours a night. Fourth, care for your emotional well-being. Panchal says to check in with yourself, practice mindfulness and gratitude to cultivate a positive mindset. Fifth, stay connected. Being engaged with others can help stave off loneliness and isolation. Sixth, prevent injuries. Panchal says falls are a leading cause of injury and disability in older adults. Balance and strength training can help keep bones healthy. Also, remove trip hazards like loose cords from the home and wear proper footwear. Finally, stay up to date on your preventative healthcare routine. That includes routine checkups, vaccines, and screenings.
We can add more healthy years by making small, consistent, healthy daily choices.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's get into your forecast for today. We got another hot and humid one in store for today. We'll be up to about 93 degrees with scattered thunderstorms likely into this afternoon and possibly into this evening. We'll also have a south wind, very light at 4 miles per hour. Our rain chances for today and over the next 7 days, we're running at about a 40% chance of rain for today. That's equivalent to a scattered thunderstorm chance, and then even more widespread as we move into Friday, because we do have a cold front moving in. That's going to bring in more additional widespread showers and thunderstorms to the forecast. Then that quickly drops off as we move into Saturday, then 30, 40, and 50% chances going into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then we drop off again as we go into Wednesday. This is what it looks like on your future skycast. So we'll have some pop-up showers by themselves, and thunderstorms, I should say, too, for this afternoon. Could potentially linger into some of the game times for tonight. And we definitely have that chance to see some lightning as well. So be sure to be careful out there. All of that will start to fade away after sunset. Will be clear for the overnight, upper 60s to low 70s to start your Friday. Cold front comes in, more widespread showers and thunderstorms with some heavy rainfall in some locations. Again, lingering into daytime, or game time, I should say, for tomorrow evening. So definitely make sure you keep that in mind. Once again, Saturday looks to be a little bit better. We got mainly dry conditions, just cloudy conditions for your Saturday. Rainfall, we're looking at maybe about a quarter, maybe half an inch in some locations. It's really going to widely vary depending on where some of these showers and thunderstorms end up positioning themselves, but everybody will have a chance to see some rain going into today, and especially going into tomorrow. Tomorrow is our best chance for rain as that cold front moves in. We have a 60% chance with 89 degrees as our high for your Friday, 91 for Saturday, partly cloudy skies, isolated thunderstorms for your Sunday, scattered for your first day of fall, and then we have some thunderstorms possible during your Tuesday morning before rain chances taper off by Tuesday afternoon and into Wednesday.
All right, Joel, thanks so much. Let's take a break from this news and weather and give you our question of the day one more time. Here it is. Which song immediately takes you back to high school?
Shut Up and Dance. That's a good one, too.
That's a good song. Mine are, y'all don't even know my song, so let's
You don't
go
remember
with
that?
yours. Of course I remember
No,
it. I love that
does
song.
it.
No, Shut Up and Dance.
Shut up and dance with me.
Man, it's not ringing a
Even
bell.
I know that.
It's
Yeah.
not ringing a bell. Okay, I'll go individual song. I'll probably say it's a song by Lil Wayne. It's called John. That's probably the song.
John?
Yeah,
Okay.
John. Yeah. Oh, back in the day, like before we had all the TikTok like highlight edits for football players. Oh man, that was the original song.
That was it?
Oh man, yeah. No, I would say probably that one.
Mine was End of the Road. Do you remember that song by Boyz II Men? Do y'all know who Boyz II Men are?
Yes. I do.
Okay. That was probably their biggest song. It was like every high school in the 90s, that was like their senior song. It wasn't ours. We did These Are the Days by 10,000 Maniacs. But that End of the Road reminds me of high school. It was kind of sad.
I looked up a list of 2016 for you, Damien, and then for me too, and I think Joel, you two were all in high school, sort of ish. We're about to be in high school around the same time.
Yeah, 2016.
Dana was living in high school as well with us. She was there. So a couple of ones that popped out on mine were Closer by the Chainsmokers. 7 Years by Lucas Graham was a big one at that time. And then My House by Flo Rida.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember.
My
that
House
song.
was a big one. And then This Is What You Came For with Calvin Harris and Rihanna. That one was a big one too.
Nice.
Joel, any other songs that remind you of high school?
Well, this one goes back. I think this one goes actually back to the 70s and 80s. You ever heard of the band Madness?
No.
No.
Our House.
Oh, I love that song.
In the middle of our street.
Oh, you were listening to that in high school?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
He's an old soul like me, so we got this
What can I
together.
say? Yeah.
I love it. He's like channeling his parents' high school.
Oh, 100%. And especially my dad. My dad and my uncle made a lot of music videos
I
growing
love
up,
that.
and they had songs like that.
Do you have any archived?
I do, but I will not show.
Pull them up. Show them off.
No, I will not be showing that. He would not appreciate
anything
that.
by like Michael Bolton was big in the 80s. People, you hear me on this, right? People are listening to our streaming show. Like How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? Paula Abdul was big. Opposites Attract. It's fun. Back in the day. 80s and 90s music. I like 80s music more than 90s, but I was a 90s
I'm
high
living
school
under
kid.
a rock with all these names.
Bless it.
I'm the worst.
We're about to step away for just a moment while we break into our over-the-air broadcast with a news update. And I'm going to get him to listen to all the 80s and 90s music while we wait.
We'll do our best in about 3 minutes. All right, we'll be right back here on CBS 19 Plus.
morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon.
And I'm Jesus Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us for this news update. Texas State Representative James Tallarico is just 1 week into his U.S. Senate campaign, but he already is hitting the road hard.
Yeah, his latest stop brought him to Longview, where he spoke to a packed community center, sharing his vision for the state and making his pitch directly to East Texas voters. Just 1 week into his campaign, and he has already visited 6 cities, including that Longview Community Center. He's positioning himself as an underdog, hoping to win the Democratic primary against Colin Allred, and retired astronaut Terry Virts with plans to face either incumbent Republican Senator John Cornyn or GOP challenger Ken Paxton in the general election.
People across the political spectrum are ready for new blood in our politics. They want new leadership in our government, and I hope to provide that fresh perspective.
Tallarico's campaign focuses less on left versus right and more on fighting for working Americans against the wealthy elite. Well, the countdown is on for the East Texas State Fair, from rides to lots of food and live music, and for the first time, the debut of a pro rodeo. We're talking bull riders, high-speed team barrel racing, all the fun.
All the mutton busting fun we can ask for as well. And it all kicks off tomorrow at the fairgrounds over in West Tyler. Crews are busy getting everything ready with, of course, the carnival rides, the midway, the amazing food, the live music. But this year, there's also the rodeo.
We're having the first ever pro rodeo of the East Texas State Fair.
Super exciting. Yeah, the crews are still working to put the finishing touches on the Herd Arena, and that can seat over 2,000 people with the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association there. And those cowboys and cowgirls are going to be competing tomorrow and throughout the weekend. And these top-rated rodeo athletes are also going to be competing for points to qualify for the National Finals Rodeo in Vegas, and tickets for that rodeo are going fast. By the way, you can purchase those tickets online, and there are general admission tickets and VIP tickets, which include your beverage and open bar and premium seating, so you don't want to miss out. Might as well round yourself up some tickets right now, Dana.
Well, hopefully the weather will cooperate. We've been talking about rain in the forecast.
That's right, yeah. Hopefully we'll get maybe a little bit of dry time. I think we'll have a little bit of a chance to get a little bit of dry time between some of these scattered thunderstorms that will be likely for this afternoon. We'll see highs near 93, a mix of clouds and sun, and some of those clouds will end up being thunderstorms for this afternoon. Some of those will linger into game time. You can see in our future skycast, 5:30, we have a chance to see a couple of showers and thunderstorms that will again linger into the late evening, potentially a little bit into the overnight, but it should be a pretty clear picture into the overnight overall. Upper 60s to low 70s to start your Friday. More showers and thunderstorms will be a possibility into Friday afternoon and into the evening as a cold front makes its way in. Got some heavy downpours, plenty of lightning. It's all going to be on the table there. So definitely make sure to stay weather aware and stay safe, especially if you're heading out to Friday night football. Our 7-day forecast shows our best chance of rain will be on Friday, tapering off by Saturday, and then rebounding back up to the 30, 40, 50% chance range as we move into our first day of fall. And speaking of fall, look at those temperatures falling into the 80s.
News before you head out this morning. An East Texas teenager is facing serious charges after a threat on social media. Deputies arrested the 16-year-old girl after she allegedly posted on Snapchat that she was thinking about shooting up White House High School. She is charged with making a terroristic threat, a third-degree felony. And investigators say another student's quick tip helped them act fast, and parents say this is a reminder of how real online threats can be.
We're also working to learn more about a fatal crash involving a Houston police officer that happened in East Texas. Right now, we know the Anderson County Sheriff's Office is investigating. It happened last night on Highway 287. Senior police officer Alex Roberts was on a motorcycle escort when he was hit head-on by another vehicle. According to our sister station in Houston, Roberts spent 15 years with the department. Texas DPS is also helping in this investigation.
And ABC has pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely after his host controversial remarks about the suspect accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. President Trump praised the decision on social media, while free speech advocates warn about government pressure on broadcasters. Let's get a final check of your weather as you get ready to head out on this Thursday.
Well, as you get ready to head out on your Thursday, definitely make sure to have an umbrella. We do have scattered thunderstorms that will be in the forecast for this afternoon. We'll be up to about 93 degrees for today. South winds holding very light at 4 miles per hour. You can see that shower and thunderstorm activity getting going by the afternoon hours, and even into the evening. Could have some heavy downpours in some locations, but plenty of lightning with some of these thunderstorms that end up forming out of the heat of the day. That will kind of taper off as we wear on into the rest of this evening and into the overnight. Should be a pretty clear picture overhead. Starting off with temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s before making our way back into the upper 80s to low 90s with an additional round of showers and thunderstorms with some heavy rainfall, and again, plenty of lightning potentially lingering into game time as well. So definitely keep that in mind if you're heading out to any Friday night football games. On the other hand, Saturday looks a lot better. We got 20% chance of rain there, partly cloudy skies. Isolated thunderstorms will be possible into your Sunday, and scattered thunderstorms for your first day of fall. And speaking of fall, right, temperatures falling down into the low 80s by your Tuesday. Morning thunderstorm chances for your Tuesday before tapering off by your Wednesday.
All right, one man's wedding ring took an unexpected dive, literally into the waters of Willow Beach in Nevada, just months after tying the knot. After a few failed attempts to recover it, the couple turned to Facebook for help. That's when a local scuba diver with years of experience retrieving those lost treasures stepped in and struck gold. Yeah, just minutes into his search, the ring resurfaced, a sparkling reminder that sometimes a little luck and a deep dive can save the day. Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow, in minutes.
I'm
That's
surprised.
impressive.
He's a pro.
Yeah.
It looks like a place that you would like never see it again.
Right.
Long lost. Imagine just getting that ring and in the water.
No.
And gone forever.
My heart would just drop if Christine
Right?
lost her ring.
And if she does, just get a scuba diver. If it drops in the water.
If it drops in the water.
Just make sure it fits nice and snug. How about that?
Yeah,
Not too tight though.
I'm looking too. I would think that something like that would sink. So like a really deep
Yeah.
water. So I'm like
into the sediment and whatnot underneath there. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know how that guy found it.
At least they found it in minutes, because over days it would have been covered.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for continuing your day here with us on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. Catch the noon show coming up on CBS 19 and here on CBS 19 Plus.
Yeah, keep you here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. And this is what's coming up on CBS 19 Plus. Have a good morning. We'll see you dark and early back here tomorrow.